Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today I bring back Micheal Hartman. How you doing?
Not too bad. Enjoying the States.
Yeah, I can see you now. No one can obviously see on the podcast, but you've got a bobble hat on, big thick coat as well. And I thought, it's cold in the UK, but there you go.
It's like 10 degrees Celsius here. It's good enough to work outside.
Cool.
Keeps you motivated and awake.
Cool. So let's have a quick chat. We're going to talk about a few things, brand registry for one of those, some of the problems you're facing from competitors on the account. So you want to share with the audience some intriguing things. So over to you. Give the audience a bit of backstory here.
Yeah. So for, let's say, I've tried to work with seller support now for a long time on and off. Yeah. And I would say that we've been A/B testing seller support tickets and brand registry tickets. Mm-hmm. And brand registry just seems to get things done much faster, much more efficient. We've had issues with category changes, node changing, listings being split. Yeah. Different scenarios of let's say bad actors in the Amazon space trying to screw with us. Even as far as obviously 1 stars getting upvoted to the first page that, come out of nowhere in 1 week, they have 700 upvotes, which the listing doesn't justify that. Yeah. So, one thing that we've been doing is we've been opening cases in brand registry. And so normally what I do with the first case is what I call just getting my foot in the door. Yeah. So I just want to create a record, even if I don't have, the proper solution. Mm-hmm. So this way, they should respond within 12 hours with some other BS that they need. But during this 12 hours, I can then hit the escalation button, after that 12 hours with the solution. So for instance, my node is getting changed from B to C to A. So one thing that I'm doing is I'm activating my category listing reports. I'm taking daily downloads of all my products on the category listing report. And so what I can do is I can show over time where my node was, number one, from Amazon's own internal data. Mm-hmm. And then I can show where it was changed. And then I will show them on my website, the correct, because they want to see on a website or a catalog. Yeah. I will show like the exact node that I want on my website for where it should be. And I will upload a simple flat file that they should be able to upload and turn that thing right back over. Now, there is a 24-hour propagation time to get this done. But one thing that we've been having some slight success with this is if this is happening multiple times on the same ASIN, let's say, where the node just keeps getting changed and this and that, we've been able to ask for temporary lockage of the node. So they've been able to do this and, so instead of getting changed like every other day or every week, it seems to lock for about 3 weeks. And then it happens again indefinitely. And so we're able to get this 3-week span, and then we're able to have, cases and other stuff from previous work of where we've done this. Now, sometimes on like a listing split where we're offering like a newer model or something like this, it won't necessarily get fixed through brand registry, but we're once again doing the best practices of setting up and documenting and having case numbers and everything simplified. So when I can go to different email queues and escalate them appropriately by adding documentation and fixes that have happened in the past. So one of the biggest thing you can do when doing cases with Amazon is if you keep having the same problem, make a list of cases of that problem where they've been resolved. So that way we have what you call like a card stacking argument against Amazon saying, you've done it 4 other times to fix this situation. Here's the 4 other specific cases where you resolved this similar attack. Please make this, or, you need to make the same, not please, you need to make the same judgment now and resolve it. And I mean, so you basically back them in the corner and give them no other option but the option you want them to choose.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to explain to people the reasons behind how they're able to make the changes? I know we've discussed it on the show before, but for clarity, how are people changing these nodes?
So it's one of 2 factors that could be happening. So you could have a retail contribution from DC. Mm-hmm. It could be an automated software algorithmic update from Amazon's end, which isn't always correct. And they're willing to admit that. Yeah. Or you could have somebody trying to add contributions to the listing by uploading a flat file in a back end of what they call like a throwaway account to add different things into that. So
and
normally
is that a vendor throwaway account, or is that normal Seller Central?
No,
account?
that's like a normal Seller Central account. But normally when they're doing this, they're also like either wiping your back end or sticking in bad keywords like dildo, adult toy, pesticide, lithium-ion batteries, different things to flag your product to bring it down. Most of the time when these type of attacks happen, they do it on Friday, so you're down for the weekend.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is like a common. So you can look for different trends in these things. And so I always recommend everybody to keep what I call like a log or a diary of all the attacks and all the fixes and the case numbers. Yeah. And so this way you can go quickly look, Brown nose change and have like different categories. So I can go and pull the case numbers from previous ones that were fixed and resolved. Yeah. And this way I can paint a picture for Amazon. And I hate to say it like this, but the first time will always be the longest normally to get it fixed. The second time will be a little less long. The third, a little less, to the point that you're just going to have this like, it's just going to be like simple.
It's the breadcrumb trail.
24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So now if somebody does this to me, I can normally fix it in 12 to 24 hours. If I have an account go down for, let's say, a bad attack from a competitor, my record last week was 36 hours to get that account back up and reinstated, which nobody thought I was coming back. Yeah. So it is good to have documentation for everything and to try and keep as organized as humanly possible.
And what are you doing? You mentioned earlier on the show that you get upvotes on negative reviews, for instance.
So I try and report that to, brand registry through there to say that it is a competitor attack. Over the weeks we've had this just popped up. And try and keep track of your data sets. Data sets are important to Amazon, and they should be important to you. So if you can say, like, my top review had 300 upvotes. Now, all of a sudden, in 1 week, I have 700 upvotes on this. Sometimes, not all the time, Amazon will suppress that listing and wipe it out and push it down.
Right.
So, this is important. So you don't have to take other methods that aren't TOS compliant. You can stay within the TOS.
Yeah. And the other thing you mentioned about is category listings report. You're downloading those that from the different periods to show the changes.
So you have to request that from Seller Central.
Yeah,
to have your category listing report enabled. Yeah. My understanding is they're doing it for 90 days now.
It used to be 30, didn't it? I think, yeah.
It used to be 30. You can get it up to 90. And then you should download that. The other thing I recommend to everybody, just as an abundance of caution, is to have every field filled out, even if it's the word none
or period
in there. Because that way, if you have the brand registry, you have brand contributions to this. So if someone else tries to override you, you can quickly override that. And if people are having a lot of these type of attacks, one thing that I can recommend, as stupid as it sounds, is like, so if you're in supplement space, because supplement space everybody knows is quite dirty, or health and beauty, we'll just put it nice. Yeah. A nice Russian kid taught me something, and it worked, because I had a similar issue, which is if you have someone keep trying to attack you with pesticides or other bad things, is if you upload your flat file every 15 minutes, it'll override anybody. Right? Because it takes 15 minutes to propagate. So you're just overriding anyone in Amazon's entire ecosystem trying to upload to your system and add these contributions through, nefarious tactics. So you're able to counteract all these measures. So it means like you're going to run 2 VAs, 12-hour shifts every 15 minutes, or you're going to write your own software program to go ahead and upload these reports every 15 minutes. And it works. Yeah. It creates a wall of defense that is impenetrable from a seller side account. A VC account is a little bit different. And to fend off those attacks is a little harder, but people aren't attacking with VCs anymore as much as they used to, because they're so hard to obtain a new VC account. So
and they're not from my understanding, maybe I'm wrong here, but the power, like a while ago, and I may be completely wrong, so you can feel free to correct me, but I spoke to someone, they said that they changed that in brand registry. If you've got brand registry, they've reduced the catalog contributions from the VC account recently in the last 6 months or so. Is that true or not?
I heard the same thing, and I don't think it's true. I can still make contributions to ASINs that have brand registry.
Gotcha.
Sometimes, if you have a VC account, I suggest, and you have a 3P account, make retail contributions to that listing that are the same or one character different than what's in there. because the VC is very hard to pull down. And so people will try, and it just adds another layer of defense.
Yeah.
So I'm really on the, my partner, Tommy, and I, we split up, let's say, the workload responsibility. And so he's mainly on the offense and ranking side, and I'm mainly on the defense side, dealing with shit that hits the fan when you become BSR1 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
No, that makes sense. Anything else you want to add? What other trends do you think you'll see for 2020 with this? Because obviously they'll shift as Amazon fixes one thing.
It's going to hit the fan with the coronavirus. So I think a lot of the factories are back to work, but how many people can take the starvation? How many people are going to want to take exits because they're just fed up with what's going on? How many people are going to stock out, which gives you opportunity? I would be keeping an eye. I believe seller.tools has a tool that goes and tells you inventory of your competitors. I would be watching my competitors' inventory. I would be looking at different things of where I could capitalize on the market to try and gain market share and not stock out or keep the stock out as limited as possible.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. If people got questions, etc., for you, what's the best way to reach you?
They can write to me on Facebook is probably, God, honestly, the best way. So you can just look me up, Micheal Hartman. Me and Danny are friends for a couple years now.
Yeah, sounds good. No worries. Cool. Guys, thanks for joining us. Micheal, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you again in the next few days. Take care.